Future walked onto the Met Gala red carpet wearing a mask and cape that made him look eerily similar to Dr. Doom. Cameras flashed as he glided through the crowd, his face hidden behind metal, a perfect embodiment of the calculating, mysterious persona he's built his empire on. This isn't just about costumes. The way these rappers navigate fame, power, and their personal demons directly mirrors the journey of comics' greatest villains. By the end of this video, you'll uncover unexpected parallels between these artists and the villains you thought you knew, forever changing how you hear their music. Did you ever notice how Future moves through the rap game like Dr. Doom moves through the Marvel universe, calculating, mysterious, and always 3 steps ahead? While other artists chase clout, Future has carefully crafted a villainous persona that's both intimidating and magnetic. From the beginning, Future built his empire on being unpredictable. Remember those early mixtapes where he rarely showed his face in videos? This strategic choice created an almost mythological persona that had fans theorizing about who he really was. Like a chess master setting up his final devastating move, Dr. Doom operates the same way, hiding behind that metal mask to build an aura of mystery and power. What makes Future such a perfect Doom parallel is his complete disregard for being likable.
If she catch me cheating, I won't never tell her sorry. If she catch me cheating, I won't never tell her sorry.
When most rappers were busy trying to win your affection, Future made songs like Throwaway and Codeine Crazy that painted him as toxic and dangerous. He embraced being feared and respected, exactly Doom's philosophy in the Marvel universe. The Atlanta trap scene has essentially become Future's Latveria. Think about how many artists have come through his kingdom, from Young Thug to Lil Baby, all operating under his influence. He transformed the Atlanta sound completely, ruling with the same iron fist Doom uses to control his fictional country. Future's constant reinvention mirrors Doom's scientific genius, from trap pioneer on DS2 to melodic innovator on Hendrix. He evolves his sound before others can catch up. While other artists take years between projects, afraid to oversaturate, Future floods the market with quality at a pace that would exhaust normal humans. Even his rare interviews and calculated media presence reflect Doom's mystique. He's leveraged his toxic king reputation into a brand, making others think twice before crossing him. Doom uses fear as a tool of control. Just like Dr. Doom believes he's the only one fit to rule because everyone else would fail, Future has positioned himself as the necessary villain of rap, someone who tells uncomfortable truths about relationships and success that others won't touch. He doesn't apologize for his toxicity because in his mind, it's just reality. From toxic king to revolutionary leader, our next rapper didn't just accept villainy, he weaponized controversy to create an entire movement. While Future rules his domain with calculated mystique, Tyler, the Creator, orchestrated a full-scale rebellion against the hip-hop establishment that mirrors Magneto's complex journey from feared antagonist to misunderstood visionary. Unlike Future's cool detachment, Tyler bursts onto the scene like a Molotov cocktail thrown into hip-hop's polite conversation. His 2011 Yonkers video, where he ate a cockroach and hanged himself, shocked mainstream audiences. His deliberately provocative lyrics represented a calculated strategy to force the industry to acknowledge voices it has systemically ignored. This parallels how Magneto's radical methods stem from a deeper purpose, demanding recognition for mutants in a world that feared them. What makes Tyler's evolution so fascinating is how his controversial early work created space for outsider perspectives in a genre that had developed rigid boundaries around acceptable expression. He positioned himself as an industry rebel who couldn't find his place with existing structures, reflecting Magneto's fundamental alienation from humanity. The genius of Tyler's approach becomes clear in how he built Odd Future into a genuine movement. Like Magneto gathering followers who believed in his vision, Tyler created a community for the rejected and misunderstood. Their infamous provocative anthems became rallying cries for fans who felt similarly alienated, transforming what could have been a solo career into a cultural revolution with its own language and aesthetics. Tyler's unwavering vision, despite significant backlash, getting banned from countries and boycotted by mainstream outlets, mirrors Magneto's principled stance. Both figures preferred vilification over conforming the system they viewed as fundamentally broken. The payoff came gradually as Tyler evolved from shock rapper to Grammy-winning artist with albums that showcase vulnerability while maintaining his distinctive voice, similar to how Magneto developed from one-dimensional villain to complex anti-hero whose motivations became increasingly understandable. By creating his own lane, Tyler forced the mainstream to adapt to him rather than the reverse. His independent approach to music, fashion, and business inspires countless artists to pursue authenticity over conformity. While some rappers build calculated personas and movements, others explode onto the scene with the pure chaos of a grenade. DaBaby's interest in the hip-hop wasn't just loud, it was deliberately unpredictable, making him the perfect embodiment of Black Panther's Killmonger.
Hey, Auntie.
Visually represented a rapper who would rather burn the kingdom to the ground than play by its rules. From day one, DaBaby operated like a human wrecking ball. Unlike artists who slowly cultivate their fan base, he burst into the mainstream with the take no prisoners approach. His rise wasn't gradual, it was an aggressive takeover. Public altercations became his calling card. Headlines about DaBaby's latest controversy appeared almost as frequently as news about his music, creating a pattern of disruption that kept the industry perpetually off balance. This approach perfectly mirrors Killmonger's strategy in Black Panther. Both figures emerged seemingly from nowhere to challenge established powers. Each disrupted the status quo through methods that left opponents with little time to react, continuously forcing systems to respond to their provocations rather than the other way around. Listen to DaBaby's music and you'll immediately notice his distinctive flow, direct and overwhelming. He doesn't ease into verses, he attacks them. This relentless energy leaves listeners little room to breathe between rapid-fire punchlines, a carefully crafted approach designed to dominate through sheer force, just as Killmonger does in combat. But like Killmonger, DaBaby's greatest strength eventually became his greatest weakness. His infamous comments at Rolling Loud revealed the double-edged sword of chaos as a strategy. In one moment, he transformed from industry darling to pariah, watching opportunities disappear as quickly as they arrived. The most fascinating parallel is how both figures exposed system hypocrisy. Killmonger forced Wakanda to confront its isolationist policies, while DaBaby's rise and fall highlighted the music industry's conditional support. The same industry that celebrated his unfiltered approach quickly abandoned him when that energy became problematic, revealing how commercial interests, not artist principles, often drive decisions. The music industry might abandon artists who become problematic, but what happens when the real enemy lives inside your own head? Kid Cudi's brutal honesty about his mental health battles transformed him into hip-hop's perfect parallel to Venom. A tortured soul constantly negotiating with an inner darkness that simultaneously gives him strength and threatens to destroy it. Listen to Cudi's soundtrack to My Life and you'll hear what sounds like two distinct voices battling for control when he raps, "I've got some issues that nobody can see, and all of these emotions are pouring out of me." It's the musical manifestation of this well-documented struggle with depression. Much like Venom's internal conflict, Cudi's duality is both a source of creative brilliance and haunting vulnerability. Similar to how Eddie Brock must constantly negotiate with the alien symbiote that both enhances and endangers him. His groundbreaking Man on the Moon sonically recreates the experience of hosting a destructive force that becomes your greatest asset. In Pursuit of Happiness, Cudi admits, "People told me to slow my roll, I'm screaming out F that," echoing Venom's defiant embrace of darker impulses while trying not to be consumed by them. When overwhelmed, both Cudi and Venom retreat from the spotlight. Remember that iconic scene where the symbiote recedes from Eddie during moments of weakness? Cudi's periods of isolation mirror this need to withdraw and recalibrate when their connection becomes unstable. The hip-hop community was blindsided when Cudi released Speeding Bullet to Heaven, abandoning his signature sound for experimental rock. This creative unpredictability keeps enemies guessing, a trait he shares with Venom, who's known for his chaotic fighting style and surprising strategies. Cudi rejected hip-hop's traditional hyper-masculinity by openly discussing therapy and emotional vulnerability. He positioned himself as an outsider within the genre, much like Venom exists as neither hero nor villain in the Marvel Universe. His complicated relationship with Kanye West reads like a comic book storyline.
The reason why we became cool again is because he apologized to me, and it was sincere.
I was just like, wow, Kanye does not apologize to anyone. He doesn't say sorry to anyone.
Former allies turned adversaries, then cautiously reunited. This mirrors Venom's evolution from Spider-Man's nemesis to occasional ally. Most importantly, both demonstrate remarkable resilience. When faced with defeat, they adapt and return stronger, transforming potential career enders into catalysts for growth. And here's the fascinating thing. What we're really seeing with these rap villains is the same psychological appeal that makes comic book antagonists so captivating. These artists aren't simply creating music, they're crafting complex personas personas that resonate with our deepest fascinations about power, rebellion, and identity. It's no coincidence that fans draw parallels between rappers and comic villains on social media. Both tap into our desire to understand morally ambiguous characters with complex motivations. Just as Magneto's Holocaust backstory adds layers of sympathy, these rappers build personas with depth beyond simple entertainment. Tell us in the comments which rap persona unsettles you the most and which villain do they truly mirror. Just as every great villain has a human story, these artists reveal the complex heart beneath the hardened exterior. Thanks Splashers for watching. Catch you guys on the next one.